Welcome to Echoes of Enlightenment, Season 3. In this season, we'll be talking about how to navigate narcissism from a chosen one's point of view. So I wanted to do the chosen one versus the narcissist, because I think it's an important topic that needs more light shined on it. And I thought I would do maybe like a 5 or 6 part series. And the way I'm going to discuss these topics, I have it set up to where you don't need to listen to it in order. It doesn't need to be in order. You can just, click on each one, whatever you want to hear, or whatever information you're looking for. Because I'm also going to throw in just some normal echoes of enlightenment topics as well. So I'm going to mix those in. I don't know, whenever I get like a download about a regular Echoes of Enlightenment episode, I throw that in there, and then I might do another episode on narcissism and how to navigate that. So I would like to talk about what narcissism is, what happens in it, and how to navigate it. Because it's something that needs more attention. It's one of the most insane experiences that somebody can go through, that one can go through. And if you've been in a narcissistic relationship or been a part of that abuse, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And when you hear me describe this stuff, it's going to sound like a movie. It's not going to sound real. And through dealing with narcissism, it even changed my whole outlook on life and on how I view like a bunch of just things. Because I think a lot of situations that people are in stems from narcissist abuse. We think people are in different situations because of their own doings. But I think a lot of these different situations can stem from having encountered a narcissist. So as I go through these episodes and through these different lessons, if you hear me say narc, I mean a narcissist. If you hear me say or refer to the narcissist as like it or the entity, or maybe on occasion I might call it a demon. So when you hear me say those different words, that's just so I'm not having to say narcissist every 2 seconds. And then when I'm talking through this stuff, when I call it it's because once you hear how I have to describe all this stuff to you, when you're dealing with a narcissist, you don't view it as human anymore. Because it's something that you've never seen an actual human do. It's off the scale. When you call something it, that means you don't know what it is. And it must be strange when you're looking at a human, but you call a human and you call that human an it. So that must say something serious. So what I mean by the chosen versus the narcissist, this is from a chosen person's point of view. And the reason why I'm giving, it from my point of view is just because I'm a chosen person and this is my experience. But the way I'm going to lay it out is it'll work. The way I'm going to lay this out is it's going to be universal, because this needs to be, it's going to be from my perspective, and it's going to be a little bit different from a chosen perspective, but it still works overall for anybody else that might need direction or some guidance while dealing with a narcissist, because it's still all kind of the same thing. It is all the same thing, but it's just coming from I'm going to have a different twist on it just because it's coming from my personal experience. But it's, but the other people will relate if they listen. They will relate because, it's a unique situation. Experience. So what a narcissist is, and later I'll get deeper into the spiritual side of it, because this is a spiritual podcast, but at the same time it's life lessons in self-development. So I want to keep it neutral, because I really want everybody to learn from this. And this is just one puzzle piece to narcissism. There's a lot of other people that have stuff to say about narcissists, and I listen to that too, because we all have our own different encounters. So if I'm able to explain how I maneuvered this narcissist and live to tell the story, maybe some of my strategies will help somebody else. And when I listen to other people's stories, their strategies helped me to navigate. So it's, like I said, this whole thing is a big puzzle, and we're all pieces to this puzzle, and we have to work together to find where our pieces are being placed. Help each other place our pieces in place so we can have a puzzle and make it, all come together. So a narcissist, what I mean by the chosen and the narcissist is they're slightly, I would say, like arch rivals. It's because you got to think about this. I want to give you this example. Occasionally we read the story, on the internet or, maybe a newspaper or just wherever. But you hear about that like one person who adopted like 6 kids, and they all had like special needs. There's something that they needed, that was, extra, that would be tough for one family to have one kid with a special need. But this person adopted like, 5 or 6 kids just so they can all stay together and they all needed the love. And the person happened to have the financial stability to be able to make this happen. And plus they had the heart to even do it. And when we look at that person, we're like, that's an angel right there. I mean, I cannot believe this person has all the money to do anything they want to do, but with the money they chose to take on this responsibility to help these kids, or have a wonderful life, and they dedicated their time to and money and love to do it. So we're like, dang, that is an angel. That's a special person. So that person is on the outside of the standard human person. Because the standard human person probably wouldn't do that. To adopt, 5 special need, or, somebody that needs a lot of help. Right? So that person is on the up and up, outside of the normal human standard, I would say. So that's like an angel, right? That's like an angel. But a narcissist is at that same level, but on the opposite end. Not on the up and up, but on the down and down, whatever you want to call it. It can do stuff that's super evil and diabolical that the standard human wouldn't even think to do. So imagine that person who's taking in the special needs kids and using their life, dedicating their life for the good of humanity. Now imagine that same amount of power working on the opposite end of destruction, for destruction. With that much power, that much dedication, but not for doing good, but for destroying. There's not one thing that a narcissist are here to do. That's what makes me think that it's more than a personality disorder. I don't think it's just a personality disorder. I think it's something that's not an angel that has attached itself to a person, a human person, human vessel. Because the thing is, the standard human person is not an expert at evil. Because narcissists are clever. And I don't call them smart. They're not smart, but they're clever at destruction and destroying and manipulating. Like everything that a narcissist is, and every move that they implement in trying to destroy their target is a crime in itself. But when you put them all together, put everything that they would do to destroy their target and put them all together, instead of it being a big crime of its own, it's labeled as a personality disorder. So that excuses each individual crime that they do, because they do a multitude of crimes against their target. And it's done so swiftly and so clever to where it's unexplainable. And that's the diabolical part about it, is you not being able to explain what's going on. But that's exactly where the narcissist wants you. And by the way, I'm going to be jumping around while I explain this because I don't have any notes. I'm going straight from just what I know. I haven't took any notes down, so I might be jumping back and forth. Just try to hang on to the story. So they'll have you exactly where they want you. Because the thing is, well, let me also say this real quick. When you meet a narcissist, the reason why you fall for them is because they're mirroring you. They're mirroring you. If you're a decent person and you're really trying to like have a relationship and you're really trying to put in the work, they're going to put in the same amount of work that you're putting in or even more. And the reason why they're able to do that is because the reason why they're able to do that and be that evil at the same time is the evil is under the mask that they put on. The narcissist wears a mask, and that mask is, when you first meet them, until they start mirroring you, the mask is, the chances are, is the person that they were with before they met you. And chances are, the person that they met was an empath. Most of the times they go for empaths and chosen ones. People with high empathy, high pain tolerance. Because narcissists, they're not in this thing for love. This, you've got to remember, this is one of the most evil things you can ever run into. So an entity is not here for love. It's here for destruction. So when you think you being a normal person, meeting this person and everything, you're like, oh, here's my soulmate, here's the one, is because they're mirroring you or the person that they were with before. They grabbed all of those great qualities from that person and built a personality to present to you, which is the mask that they wear. Because that mask will fall off. And then once that mask falls off, you see that evil person that was behind the scene. But that doesn't fall off until later. We get into all that also. But so when you meet a narcissist, you're gonna think they're the most. You're gonna think they're everything that you've wanted in a relationship, because they're watching you. All they do is watch closely, because they can't generate all this love that you naturally carry. They can only emulate it. It's just a mirror. They're mirroring everything you do. So you are getting confused, thinking like, oh, dang, this person has the same amount of love as I do. Because they're just mirroring back. They're perfect. That's why I say they're clever. They're really, really clever. They're, I'd say, brilliant, and evil because they can fool everybody. So while you're sitting up here building this, thinking you're building this relationship in your mind, and that's normal. You say, you're aiming for an end result in a relationship, right? But your end result is for love, maybe marriage, family, kids. Their goal is for destruction, to destroy you as a person. That's what their goal is. And if it takes having kids and doing this whole thing, that's just to build a web to entangle you. It's to entangle you to where when it ends, because the narcissist already knows it's going to end. They know the relationship it's done before it even got started. The reason why is because it has a mask on. It can only hold up the mask for a certain amount of time before you start seeing that something is not right here. And the narcissist also is unable to love. It doesn't have feelings. It can't even generate its own energy. The way the narcissist gains energy or looks somewhat healthy or be able to do normal things is if they siphon energy from the host. And the host is you, because you're a normal person. You got normal emotions, normal, just everything that the standard human would come with. Loving human would come with. And by them being with you, they mirror you to suck you in. Then once they have a grip on you, they'll slowly back off that mirroring. It's manipulation. They'll back off that mirroring. And then when they back off of that mirroring, that makes you want to come forward and be like, hey, what's wrong? I thought we had this going, blah, blah, blah. And by you wondering and trying to fix all these issues to get things back the way they were, is you giving the narcissist energy. If you understand what I'm saying. By you stressing, what's wrong? Hey, I thought, here, we can do this. You're expending energy. And the narcissist is like, oh, yes, here we go. I need this. That's how it gets its fuel. And then it'll back up, then it'll act right for a couple of days. And then you're like, oh, okay. Because it needs to suck you in. It doesn't want to lose you, especially if you're an empath or a chosen one. Because I told you, the chosen and the empath will stick around in situations way longer than they need to. And God also puts us there for a long time to let everything run its course so we can be here to teach the masses on how to navigate this thing. We have to see it all the way through. So we have to go through it and experience it. So the good thing, the reason why they want the empaths and the chosen ones is because we're a great source of fuel. Or even in the narcissism community, just people that's been through it, they call it supply. You're great supply. because you can take a beating. And that's what that's the only way narcissists can get their fuel is by the abuse. They want to hurt you because when you feel pain, they gain energy. If you notice, the only time a narcissist can shine is when they're with somebody whose energy they're draining. The normal person, don't think I'm taking away from a narcissist experience with just a regular person that's not an empath or a chosen one, because that's 100% bad too. All of it is bad when you're dealing with a narcissist. But with somebody who's not a chosen one, usually the regular normal person would just kind of leave because they'll get depleted like crazy. They're like, I can't even handle this. And if they don't make it out in time, then bad things happen. But a chosen one or, empath, we can just take it. We'll take it and take it and take it because we're constantly trying to fix what the problem is. And one, we don't even understand. Like I said, we don't even know that we're dealing with a narcissist. You don't really even know you're dealing with one until you're out of the situation. I mean, now if I was ever to run into a narcissist, I wouldn't be dealing with it because I wouldn't even get into it. I know all the signs already. That's the thing. The only reason why people deal with narcissists for years is because they don't know what they're encountering. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. And when you're chosen or an empath, you stick around because you're just trying to fix it. And then the thing is, it's like narcissists, the longer you're with a narcissist, they're entangling you into this spider web, really to never let you go, because why would they want to let fuel go? Because they normally have to hop around. They have to hop around from person to person to person to person to person, because the only way they can survive is if they're getting fuel from another person. They can't generate their own energy. And if a narcissist is unable to get fuel from someone, whatever that entity is that's connected to them begins feeding on the narcissist. That's why they constantly have somebody, even if they're in a relationship, they constantly cheat because say the person that they're married to or whatever is at work, they still need that energy. They need that fuel. So they need somebody at all times. It's just a constant Ferris wheel of deception and destruction. So while you're moving forward in a relationship with the narcissist, you're just moving forward. You're moving forward as in love, and you're thinking about building I'd say the dream life that you would hope for. The narcissist is going along with that because as you build this dream world, a family, the house, the dog, the kids, the whole thing is a way to entangle. Because you're like, okay, we can do bank accounts and stuff as the normal person. Because you're my partner. So yeah, we're supposed to have everything mixed, but the narcissist is like, yeah, give me this, entangle that. Then you're like, let's have a kid. You have a kid. So now you're stuck with the narcissist. Do you see what I'm saying? The normal person thinks they're doing stuff out of just a regular relationship, but a narcissist is doing it only to get the claws into you, to where the destruction will happen, but the destruction won't happen until the end. What the narcissist is doing is setting mines, landmines, all throughout this whole relationship. The normal person is thinking that the relationship it's always going to be rocky with the narcissist. It's always going to be rocky. It's never going to be a good week. It's always got to be problems. The reason why it's got to be problems is because when you're always trying to fix something, that means you're expending energy, which the narcissist gets a chance to eat. And if the narcissist wants to live, it needs to cause the consistent drama, because that's the only way it refuels itself. A normal person can go to sleep, take a nap, a power nap, and wake up refreshed, ready to go. A narcissist doesn't refuel like that. It only refuels off of chaos, drama. So that's how that goes right there. So while you're getting wrapped up and entangled in this relationship and constantly it's like you're on a rowboat and you're stuck out at sea and there's an island way out the way, and your normal person is rowing, we can see the island way at the end, way down there. And it's starting to rain, you're out at sea, you're like, man, the light's at the end of the tunnel. While you're rowing, the narcissist is in the back. Instead of rowing, they're poking holes in the canoe. They're poking holes in the canoe, and you turn around, you're like, why? What are you doing? But the thing is, you got to realize the narcissist is not looking for an end result. It only wants the fuel. Do you see what I'm saying? It needs you, while you turn around and yell at the narcissist for poking a hole in the canoe while you're trying to save them. And you're asking them questions and trying to figure out what are they doing? You're not actually communicating with the narcissist, because it's getting energy as you explain. It understands that you're pissed off because it's poking holes while you're rowing. And it's laying back like, oh yeah, fresh sunshine right here. Do you see how crazy that is? That's absolutely insane. It's nuts. So you're never going to get to that end goal of a beautiful life with a narcissist. And the whole time they still holding up a mask reflecting you. So that's why you don't leave. You're just thinking that you're in a relationship that's a little rocky. But behind the scene, you don't even know how rocky it actually is. Because while this mirror is being held up of this person that seems to be a good person that you're having a little bit of a challenging time with, they're destroying things slowly but surely. And they're also entangling things. And all this is set up for the end goal, and the end goal is for when y'all split. It's the narcissist is setting things up for when you split up. When y'all break up, it already knows that the relationship was done before it even started. Even when it married you, it already knew. One, because it's done this before. And then two, because it's also going to do this after you. So you're going into the relationship as on the up and up, thinking you're doing all this stuff to make it work. You know, you're getting everything's together. You know what I mean? You're having kids with the narcissist. You're doing all this out of like love and stuff, but the narcissist is doing it out of when it ends. Now I got something to make sure you don't leave, so I can constantly terrorize so I can get the fuel from you forever while I'm getting fuel from other people. See, it's the narcissist is desperate. It's going to do whatever it can do to get the fuel because it can't create its own energy. So when the narcissist first meets you, I would say the first 2 weeks in, you could be in a 10-year, 15, 20, 30, 40-year relationship. The longer that you're in the relationship with the narcissist, is how bad the destruction's going to be at the end. Because the first 2 weeks in, the narcissist is already working on your friend group. Your friend group. It's already like you're in a relation. The normal person is in a relationship, and you're like, oh, I found my soulmate, right? The narcissist that you thinks your soulmate. I found my soulmate, so I want to introduce my soulmate to my friends, because that's a normal relationship. That's a normal relationship. To where here's the people I love over here, my extended group, my friends and my family and whatever we, work, Christmas parties. I want to bring my other half with me. You don't understand is that you're bringing the most toxic person to your sacred places. That's what's happening. You bring this person around your friends. You go to the restroom. They'll be like, while you're gone, they'll be like, hey, have they been acting a little funny lately? I think he's been a little sick or something. They're like, oh no, my buddy's all right. He seems to be good. Oh, okay, well, I just thought I'd ask because, he's acting a little funny. Then you walk out the restroom. Well, no, before you walk out the restroom, they're like, oh, okay, well, that's good. I just thought I would, this is a narcissist talking. I just thought I would, kind of just say something, because I care. I really care. And I just want to make sure that they're good. But please don't say anything to them. I don't want to rock the boat. Our relationship is great. And the person, your friend or whatever, is like, oh, okay, yeah, I ain't going to say nothing. It's good. Just, yeah, he's fine. And you come out the restroom and nobody says anything. But what happened was the narcissist planted a seed right there in that one friend. They planted a seed. And that seed will eventually grow because over time, this narcissist is going to do that with everybody. Anybody that they know you're friends with, close with, when y'all are around and when you're around your friends with your other half, the narcissist, they're planting seeds all throughout, doing little stuff, like I said, they're clever. They're so clever. They do it so swiftly, so sneaky, to where your friends don't even realize what's happening. And you definitely don't know what's happening. The only person that knows what's happening is the narcissist. because the narcissist can play the long game. He can play the long game because it knows at the very end, it's going to get all the fuel it needs. A lot of fuel. Not unless you know how to maneuver and outsmart the narcissist. And I know the trick. I know what to do. And I'm gonna teach y'all. Because that's the main reason why we're here. I'm just painting the picture so you can understand what you're dealing with a narcissist. So it plants all these little seeds, and these are all your friends. It gets around your family, does the same thing to your family. Oh, don't tell them. Don't tell them I'm saying this. But they have all these different stories. They'll be like, they'll know that you like you were playing basketball and you kind of twisted your ankle. So you're limping a little bit, right? So you'll go to a friend's house as a couple and you're limping around. When you go to the restroom, the narcissist will tell your friends, oh, have they been acting a little funny? They're talking about their other half. Have they been acting a little funny because they've been really angry lately? And they're like, no, what is he angry about? We had an argument and he just started kicking the wall. Like some outrageous lie. Kicking the wall. Do you see how he's limping? And then the person will walk out of the restroom limping. And they're like, oh, dang, I guess that's right. His leg hurts from kicking the wall because he's been going crazy. But the truth is, you sprained your ankle playing basketball. That's why you're limping. But the narcissist will be like, hey, don't say anything. Don't say anything. So your friend won't even ask you why you're limping to get the true answer because the narcissist has already told them not to say anything. So that never gets cleared up. It never gets cleared up. They always in the back of their mind like, oh, he was kicking something because he was mad. Because they listen to the narcissist story. But the narcissist is so clever to tell them, please don't say anything. I don't want to ruin anything. They're so slick. And imagine somebody being that slick 24 hours a day. But on the deception side, the opposite of the lady who's taking care of the special needs kids. Because she's the lady taking care of the special needs kids, doing that 24 hours a day, but that's in all love. That's some strength and love right there. Now imagine a narcissist doing all this crazy shit on the opposite end, but for destruction. So imagine how much you can get done if you dedicate your life and you're really, really, a master at deception. Like you know how to break all rules. Every rule you know how to break and you're really good at it. You can tear up a lot. So this is just kind of what a narcissist is. This is kind of the type of stuff that they do. And they do it everywhere you go. You got a kid, they're doing it at the game. You know what I mean? Like if you're the whole thing is you think you're working as a team with somebody, but that they're not part of your team. It's all part of your destruction. So this is what kind of a narcissist does right here. And they'll be doing this the whole relationship, years and years and years. And all that is to set landmines everywhere, because they don't blow up anything until you finally catch on that you're dealing with. You won't even know that it's a narcissist. You just think you think it's a toxic person, and you think that person is so toxic to where you can't continue that relationship. You can't continue the relationship. So that's when you end a relationship. But for the narcissist, this is where all the fun begins. Because now, out of thousands of landmines, it's planted. Now it can detonate them all at once. And all those landmines were specifically for you. And then this is where all the fun begins. Until next time.